What if everything we've been told about social connection is completely wrong for nearly half the population? While extroverts dominate our social landscape with their high-energy gatherings and networking events, a quiet revolution is brewing. Introverts across the country are boldly challenging the very foundation of how we think about community building. And their approach might just be the antidote to our modern loneliness epidemic. But here's where it gets controversial. These aren't your typical shy people hiding in corners. These are confident individuals who are deliberately rejecting mainstream social expectations and creating something entirely different. James Lim, a 40-year-old career coach, didn't just stumble into this movement. He became its unlikely champion in Bristol. We're completely flipping societal expectations upside down. Lim declares with surprising boldness for someone society might label as quiet. His journey began with frustration that many introverts will recognize immediately. After relocating to Bristol, Lim found himself trapped in a cycle of attending conventional social events, only to leave feeling completely drained and disconnected. The traditional party atmosphere was suffocating, he explains. It seemed like only the most vocal person in any room could command attention, while the rest of us were left feeling invisible. This experience sparked what would become the Bristol Social Introverts group, a monthly gathering that now attracts an impressive 130 participants per session. The numbers tell a remarkable story. What started as a small experiment over 5 years ago has exploded into one of the city's most sought-after social communities. And this is the part most people miss. Lim's initial struggle reveals just how deeply our society misunderstands introversion. When he first attempted to secure venues for his group, pub landlords literally laughed at the concept. The rejection was genuinely painful, Lim admits. But I refused to give up because I knew there had to be others like me out there. His persistence paid off in ways that even surprised him. What's fascinating is watching the transformation during our gatherings, Lim observes. We might start with hushed conversations and tentative interactions. But after a couple of hours, the energy shifts completely. People discover their voices when they're not competing with overwhelming stimulation. But let's address the elephant in the room. Isn't this just enabling social anxiety? Lim pushes back against this criticism firmly. There's a massive misconception that introverts are antisocial or painfully shy, he argues. We simply function better in environments that aren't sensory overload. We recharge through solitude, while extroverts need constant social stimulation. Neither approach is superior, they're just different. This philosophy is spreading beyond Bristol. In Taunton, Somerset, Claire Farthing has been building something equally revolutionary with her South Somerset Meetups, which consistently draws around 30 professionals monthly since launching in April 2024. Farthing, 54, brings a business-focused perspective that challenges another stereotype. I've always been what people call a quieter soul, but that doesn't mean I lack ambition or leadership qualities, she states. Traditional networking events left me feeling like I was performing an exhausting charade, projecting a louder, more aggressive version of myself just to be acknowledged. Her solution? Creating a ticketed monthly business community specifically designed for introverted professionals. After conventional networking events, I'd need hours of solitude to recover what I call topping up my cup. Farthing explains, our gatherings eliminate that energy drain while still fostering meaningful professional connections. Farthing believes these groups are doing something more significant than just providing comfortable social spaces. We're actively challenging workplace dynamics that favor extroverted communication styles, she argues. Introverts aren't unsociable. We can be remarkably adaptable when we're in environments that honor our natural communication preferences. Meanwhile, in Bristol, 26-year-old Ella Chandos has taken a slightly different approach with Wobbly Socials, targeting a broader demographic up to age 65, while focusing particularly on younger adults struggling with post-pandemic social reconnection. We've essentially traded authentic community connections for digital convenience, Chandos observes. It's become disturbingly easy to spend entire days without genuine human interaction. Despite our technological connectivity, we desperately need face-to-face experiences. Chandos designed Wobbly Socials around low-pressure activities, walking groups, board game evenings, and creative workshops that naturally encourage connection without forcing it. Our feedback consistently reveals that most existing social meetups revolve around alcohol or competitive sports, which can feel intimidating, she notes. We're hearing from people who lost fundamental social skills during lockdown, particularly those who were teenagers during the most restrictive periods. And this is where the story becomes even more intriguing. University of Bath postgraduate researcher Inge Aben believes these grassroots movements could fundamentally reshape how society perceives introversion itself. Aben's recent research challenges conventional wisdom about introverted behavior in ways that might surprise you. We need to completely reimagine what I term moments of introverting, she suggests. Instead of viewing quiet reflection or the need for breaks as weakness, we should recognize these as legitimate and valuable responses. Her findings reveal something that could spark serious debate in corporate environments. My research uncovered persistent negative assumptions about introverts in professional settings. This persistent myth that they lack ambition, can't handle management roles, or won't advocate for important issues, Aben explains. But individuals who embrace their introverted moments often develop superior listening skills, make more thoughtful decisions, and build deeper working relationships. But here's where it gets really controversial. Aben argues that everyone, regardless of their dominant personality type, could benefit from incorporating more introverted approaches into their lives. Rather than forcing constant social engagement, we should encourage people to honor their need for quiet reflection, she suggests. These groups aren't just serving introverts. They're modeling healthier social interaction for everyone. The researcher acknowledges that quantifying introversion is nearly impossible because we all have the capacity for introverted moments, making this less about fixed personality types and more about recognizing diverse social needs. As our world becomes increasingly digital and socially fragmented, these quiet revolutionaries might be onto something bigger than alternative social gatherings. They're questioning whether our extrovert-dominated culture is actually serving anyone well. So here's the question that might make you uncomfortable. If introverts are finding more authentic connections in these alternative spaces, what does that say about our mainstream social culture? Are we forcing everyone into an extroverted mold that's actually working against genuine community building? What do you think? Are these introvert-focused groups a necessary correction to an unbalanced social landscape, or are they creating unnecessary social segregation? Have you ever felt exhausted by traditional social events and wished for something completely different? And most provocatively, could our entire approach to networking, socializing, and community building be fundamentally flawed? Share your thoughts, whether you identify as introverted, extroverted, or somewhere in between. This conversation might challenge everything you thought you knew about social connection.